Do you fear failure? If you feel failure, watch this video, because in this video, I am going to show you how to eliminate failure. Let's talk about it. You ready to make money online? Like, share, subscribe. Let me show you how to make money online like this. Now, if you want to make your first $500 online, and I'm going to show you for absolutely free, click the link in the description and I'll show you how to make your first $500 online while you sleep, even if you just started today. I'll see you there. Now, before we talk about fear of failure, most people I know would say, well, how do you know if you even have a fear of failure? Well, first of all, I got some notes over here because I want to make sure, that I don't forget anything. But here's how to know if you have a fear of failure. 1, reluctance to try new things. When you see new opportunities, whether it's to invest, whether it's to learn, whether it's to grow, whatever it is, when you see new opportunities, do you jump on opportunities, or are you the type of person that tells yourself, well, I have to think about it first? That always gets me, right? When people say they have to think about it. I used to say that too, so I'm not exempt from any of this stuff. All of these things that I'll talk about on this channel, I've either dealt with them or I'm still dealing with them. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not going to act like I'm, just past all of these things. But when I was in front of opportunities, I would be reluctant to try new things, and I would tell myself, or tell the person, literally tell myself, let me think about it. Let me think about it. And then I would think about it. And when you give yourself time to think about whether to invest into something or whether to grow, the only thing you think is every reason why it won't work. At least me. I don't know about you, but at least me. I would think of every reason why I should not invest in myself. Now, I've talked about this on several videos, but there's this mechanism in your brain called the reticular activating system. Look it up. It basically proves that however you think, whatever you think is true. So if you're walking around thinking that you're going to fail, the reticular activating system in your brain is going to prove to you and show you every reason why you're going to fail. So because we know that our minds are literally set up to keep us safe, to keep us in the same place, when you see opportunities, you can't be reluctant to jump on an opportunity, because what's going to happen, that becomes a habit. When it becomes a habit, it's hard to change. And what happens is, it's worse when you get like 60, 70, 80 years old and you're in a place where you're still feared or still afraid to make a move. So that's one thing. Now, the next way you know if you have a fear of failure, self-sabotage. How do you talk about yourself? When you're having conversations with other people, here's one quick indication to really know if you self-sabotage. When someone walks up to you and gives you a compliment, and you quickly, like someone will walk up to you and say, hey, you look nice today. Oh, this old thing? How do you talk about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? If you're self-sabotaging, you may have a fear of failure. Literally, you may have a fear of failure. And we're only talking about fear of failure when it comes to making money. The next thing, negative thoughts. Negative thoughts. Now, I feel that every human being has negative thoughts. So that necessarily doesn't mean that you have a fear of failure. But when I'm talking about myself, when I was reluctant to try new things, like I just said, I would go right into negative thoughts, and I would think negative, think of every reason why it wouldn't work, instead of thinking of every reason why it would work. See, one thing that I started doing about a year ago, right? Instead of thinking negative, every time I catch myself thinking negative, what I would do in that moment is, like now it's like, okay, instead of saying, why won't this work out? Or what if I lose everything? I think now, what kind of car am I going to drive once this works? What kind of mansion am I going to get once this works? Where am I going to vacation once this starts to work the way I want it to work? And that's how I approach new opportunities. Next, intense anxiety. If you're having anxiety about money, about bills, about your life, about all things, that's just not going right, literally what you focus on continues to grow. But you have to understand that these are some of the causes of fear of failure. Now, that's how you know if you have a fear of failure. Here's some of the causes of fear of failure. Perfectionism. I know people watching this video right now. You see me, you're looking at what I'm doing, and you're telling yourself, I can do what this guy is doing. It's not hard to turn on the camera and start talking to the camera. It's not difficult to do that. But someone watching this video, you're a perfectionist. You want everything perfect. I used to be like that too. I wouldn't move on certain things until it was perfect. I used to tell myself, I'm not even going to create a YouTube video until I got a haircut. Now, I get on here with my breath stinking, crust in my mouth, crust in my eyes. Why? Because I don't care about what anybody says or thinks about me. It's about the message. It's about me getting the message out. Even if it's one person on the other end of this camera listening to what I'm saying, I've done my job for the day. So I can care less what anybody say about me. I can care less. And you have to be like that too. Because one thing you got to understand about the internet, trolls will talk regardless. I've had so many negative comments under my videos, and my heart is pure. I'm here to help. But I've had so many negative comments under my video. But it's funny because every time somebody comments negative, there's something that, like they never have followers. They never have videos. They probably broke. So they're miserable. Let them sit in their own, miserable life. Now, other causes for fear of failure, negative past experiences. So usually surrounding money. There's people right now that will never sell digital products because when they bought a car, the salesman made them feel horrible. And they're holding on to that. And they're not releasing it. They're holding on to it. In fact, there are people walking around feeling like all salesmen are full of crap because of one bad experience that they had. And this is one of the causes of fear of failure. Fear of failure will stop you dead in your tracks from doing anything in your life. Anything. So you got to shake that fear. Next, low self-esteem. Now, I like to say low self-esteem is inherited. That comes from people that we were around when we grew up. How your parents talk to you. How people around you talk to you. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that were told when they were younger, they were told how dumb they are, how stupid they are. One thing, I was in the store the other day and I heard a young lady tell her son, "You just like your stupid daddy." And I'm like, gosh. She has no clue how she's damaging this little boy. She's damaging this little boy. And there's a lot of you walking around damaged. Even fear of failure. Fear of failure can also be inherited too because, how you hear your parents talking. Luckily for me, yes, my parents said a lot of things about being broke. Yes, my parents, lived a certain way. And yes, I did hear a lot of that. But I was never told that I was stupid. I was always told that I'm a winner, that I can have anything that I want. And that's my belief. That's my belief. So honestly, a lot of this stuff is deep rooted. Next, fear of failure comes from fear of success. Now, I used to have a fear of success, and my fear of success came from me thinking that if I got successful, people would just come out and start begging. And then it's like, how can I hold myself back from getting successful or trying new opportunities because I feel like once I make it, people are going to beg for things? That's stupid. That's just stupid. So when you think about it, these are some of the causes of fear of failure. You cannot let these things stop you. Now, how to eliminate your fear of failure. And this is one thing that I had to do. You have to accept failure is normal. Failing is normal. It's normal. It's a part of you being a human being. I know it doesn't feel good when you try something and you fail. I know it doesn't feel good when you invest into something and you don't get the money back. I know it doesn't feel good when you actually work hard and you don't get the result that you want. I know it doesn't feel good, but it's necessary. It's necessary because it's normal. If I told you how many times I've failed, you wouldn't even believe. Like, honestly, if I told you everything about me, you would look at me like, wow, you are such a strong individual. And through these videos, I'm going to, be breaking some of the things down that I've been through. I've been through hell. Specifically in online business, I've been through hell. Hell. Dragged in the mud. But I'm still standing. I'm still here. I'm still in front of you putting out content every single day to help you, not help me. To help you. Well, actually, these videos help me too, because when I'm talking to you, I'm actually talking to myself, literally. But so accept failure is normal. Failure is normal. You can't not try a new opportunity if you're in a situation right now that you don't like. The answer is not to just go find another job. If you don't like job number 1, you definitely ain't gonna like job number 2. And then job number 3, only thing that's gonna do is make you tired. That's it. Working hard is never the answer. I work 1 to 2 hours a day, literally. I'm not working hard, beating my head against the pavement. Why do that? It doesn't give me the result I want. Next, adopt a beginner's mindset. And this is something that I still struggle with right now. There's times where I invest into products, I invest into mentors, because I'll never stop. I'll never stop investing. Because you never know enough. I'll never stop investing in myself. I don't care. But one problem that I have is I will invest into something and then I will see like, okay, this is something that I know, so I'm going to skip over it. No. And when you're learning something new, listen. People come up to me all the time and they say, I already know how to do that. Well, are you doing it? No. Listen, if you're not doing it, you don't know how to do it. Period. People tell me all the time, hey, I already know how to do a YouTube channel. I already know how to record videos. Okay, are you doing it? No. Well, how do you know how to do it? Adopt a beginner's mindset. Because when you don't, and you think or you come across like you're an expert at everything, you get in the way. And you got to get out the way. Look, a lot of the success that we want in our life, it's delayed or it's not coming fast enough because we're in our own way. We're in our own way. Nobody's helping you become fearful of success or fear. Nobody's helping you have fear or failure. Nobody's helping you with that. You're doing that to yourself. Now, next, here's something else I have a problem with. Well, not a problem, but, an issue with. Talk to someone that you trust. Most of the times, one thing that I'm thinking about doing, well, not even thinking about doing, I've actually already done it, but, I have a therapist. And I believe that every human being needs a therapist. Because there's certain ways and certain mental blocks that we have, and we don't really understand how to get rid of them. So when I say talk to someone that you trust, that can either be a therapist who's a professional, or it can be a friend, that you trust, but make sure that if you choose to talk to a friend that you trust, make sure it's a friend that doesn't have a fear of failure. If it's a family member, make sure it's a family member that does not have a fear of failure. Because if it's a family member or a friend that has a fear of failure, they're going to keep you down. They're going to keep telling you things that's going to keep you having a fear of failure. Now, if you're still watching this video, make sure you stay to the end, because I have a few questions that you can ask yourself that'll change how you view your fear of failure. Next, remember the cost of not trying. Ooh. Remember the cost of not trying. Whew. Think about that. Yes, you may have a fear of failure. Yes, you may not have the money that you want. Yes, you may be scared to invest. Yes, you may be scared to take action. But what's the cost of not trying? The anxiety, the frustration, not being able to do what you want, not being able to vacation when you want, having to work a job that you don't like, not being able to pay for things that your kids need, not being able to eat where you want, not being able to buy the clothes you want, not being able to drive the car you want, not being able to live in the house you want. You got to think of the cost of not trying. The cost of not trying is way more expensive than any solution to help you eliminate your problems. Not trying, oh, that's expensive. Very expensive. Too expensive for me. But that was a big one. Next, maintain a flexible mindset. You want to be flexible, Maintain a flexible mindset. You want to come into new opportunities, whether it's a course, whether it's a product, whether it's, a guide teaching you how to do something. You want to come into every opportunity flexible in your mind, knowing that, okay, I've seen this before, I've heard about this before, but I'm still going to be flexible. I'm still going to, learn and make sure I put my best foot forward. Because not having a flexible mindset will keep you in that fearful mindset. That fearful mindset is something else. It's literally something else. And it's something that's really gonna really hurt you. Here's a good one. Ooh, the next one is a good one. Be afraid, but do it anyway. Be afraid, but do it anyway. Your bills don't care about your fear of failure. Your future self don't care about your fear of failure. The lifestyle you want don't care about your fear of failure. Do it anyway. Now, you may be thinking all of this stuff is pretty common sense. Well, even common sense needs to be repeated over and over and over again. Because it's common sense that if you work a job that you don't like and you don't make enough money, it's common sense that you need to figure out a way to make money. That's common sense. It's also common sense that if you want to make more money and you don't like working a lot and you're lazy sometimes, it's common sense that it makes sense to make money online. But people are still afraid. So you got to do it anyway, baby. You got to go through with it anyway. You can't let that fear of failure stop you. Look, the last product that I invested in, I was afraid. In fact, every time I invest into something, I'm afraid. I'll keep it real, especially when it's thousands of dollars. Look, I remember I was a couple years ago. I worked with Nehemiah Davis. I don't know if you know who Nehemiah Davis is, but if you've seen him online, Neil Davis, you've seen him, right? I was working. I went to a conference, right? And I went to a conference and I'm sitting in the audience and it just feels like he's speaking directly to me. I'm just sitting there like, gosh, like, how does he know? Like, he's speaking directly to me. And he says, if I'm talking to you, get up and go to the back table and join my mentorship. I got up. I went to the back table. I had a few thousand in my pocket. I'm thinking, okay, it's probably going to be like 3,000, 5,000. I got that. It's no problem. I came there with money because I was planning on investing into the best thing that I saw because I was leaving a different person. I wasn't going to leave the same person with a bunch of information, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to start. So I get to the back table and they tell me, okay, Kevin, you want to join the program? Yes. Okay. Well, the investment is $50,000. What? 50? Did you say $50,000? What the hell do I get for $50,000? I went and sat back down. I literally went and sat back down. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm sitting in this situation. I don't have 50. Well, I actually had 50 bands in the bank, I didn't want to give him $50,000 all right there, though. It was like, no, man, So I went back and I'm like, okay. One thing that I know about money is, you're not able to just take $50,000 out of the bank and just give it to somebody, right? So I had to call my bank and I had to push the credit limit. Well, not the credit limit, but I had to ask them if I could spend $10,000. And it's crazy. Don't you hate you got to call the bank and ask them if you... Anyway, I had to ask the bank if I could spend 10 grand that day, right? Because I was going to put 10 grand down on it to show them that I was serious. I was nervous. I was scared as hell. But I knew if I didn't do it and I went back home, I would be the same person. I knew it. I gave him that $10,000. And because of that, man, I learned something from Nehemiah Davis and I made $30,000. $30,000. So when you're afraid, sometimes you got to skip past that and you got to do it anyway. Do it anyway. Keep going. Now, next, work on taking risks. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you believe. If you're not willing to take a risk, then you're not willing to get to life that you say that you want. You're just not willing. It's not for you. Because every successful person that I know, they took some type of risk to get to where they are. Every successful person. It's not one successful person that I know that did not take a risk. Next, get comfortable with things not working out. Get comfortable. Now, it sucks, but get comfortable with things not working out. And when I say get comfortable with things not working out, understand that when you start something, it takes time to be able to make things work out. So that first attempt, that first video may not get no views. That first post may not get no likes. That first time you put that business out there may not get no sales. But you can't judge the whole thing based on just that. You got to get comfortable. You got to literally be a type of person that says, you know what? I put it out there, it didn't work, but it's going to. It's going to. I guarantee it's going to work. It's going to. And when you put yourself in that mental place, I'm telling you, you will get to the next level faster than you can even believe it's possible. Now, here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself when you feel that fear of failure. Now, for everybody that already skipped off this video, they're missing the best part, because this is the best part. 3 questions that you can ask yourself when you're in front of an opportunity and you want to press go or you want to go forward, but you're afraid. Here's a question that you can ask yourself. What am I really afraid of? Woo, that's a good question, right? What am I really afraid of? And when you sit back and you think about it, I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm not afraid of nothing. Man, let me make this investment, man. What am I really afraid of? I know that if I stay the way I am, I know that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what are you really afraid of? I can only tell you about me. What I was really afraid of is I didn't want to lose the money. But what I was really afraid of is I was afraid that I would give up. Everything that I didn't move forward with, I was afraid that I wouldn't take the action, that I wouldn't do what it took. That's what I was afraid of. Now, what are you afraid of? This is a great question to ask yourself when you're feeling like that. Next, here's a good one. Who am I doing this for? Woo! Give me a share, give me a like. Who am I doing this for? You hear a lot of people talk about your reason why, right? Who are you doing this for? That will help you push past that fear of failure. The next question. Not what's the worst thing that can happen, but what's the best thing that can happen? Ooh, that's another good question. What's the best thing that can happen? Listen, I'm telling you, fear of failure is real. It's real. It's definitely something that's real. And it's something that people are really, really struggling with. And until they fix it, people are going to continue to struggle. In 2025 right now, it's time for everybody. Give me 1 second. Baby, I'm recording. Let me call you right back in 1 minute. It's time for everybody to get your own money. Literally, it's time for everybody to get their own money. Because not knowing how to get your own money will have you in trouble in 2025 and on. Because these people in office, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about us. They don't care. So you do what you got to do, man. But if you do anything, eliminate your fear of failure. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.